hell to get off. Manufacturers call it discontinuation.
Zap, zap, zap. It feels like electricity in the back of your head. It feels like your brain is actually seizing up.
Some patients call it agonizing withdrawal.
My whole body would be shaking as though my nervous system is on the fritz.
Primetime's investigation discovered evidence that the makers of PAXIL withheld information, this time downplaying the risks of withdrawal symptoms from their own studies. Symptoms range from mild temporary headaches to debilitating electric shock sensations.
Shocks. Head shocks really throwing me off.
Helen, a British college student, had failed to get off PAXIL before. The BBC television network gave her a camera to keep a video diary detailing her next attempt to quit the drug.
Headaches, muscle pains, sweating, trembling. As I take each step, there's this shock in my head that's completely throwing me off balance.
Helen prepares to reduce her dosage further.
Next week, I'll be on half a tablet every day. And to be honest, I'm really dreading it. I've got really awful head shocks. And,
Eventually taking minute liquid doses from a dropper.
oh, God.
After 3 months, finally off the drug she never imagined could take her down this path.
I didn't know what it would do to me, and I would have never made the choice to take it had I known.
PAXIL is not the only antidepressant which can cause sometimes severe side effects. The Los Angeles law firm Baum Hedlund says they represent 3,000 American clients, claiming instructions recommend a gradual reduction in dose. But Tara says reducing didn't solve the problem. It just brought on new symptoms.
And it literally felt like somebody had a nail on top of my head pushing it down.
She even switched to a controlled release version of PAXIL, but says she broke out in this rash. Tara says she just can't quit.
So I had been on PAXIL for about 10 years, and I know I'm going to have to revisit this topic many times because it really screwed my life up, and it do that your brain basically has these weird lucid dreams, and when you're on PAXIL week it's really weird, and then for the first couple of months it's kind of are firing, but they're not getting any feedback, like, hey, I'm firing too much. So constant stream of electricity going through your brain, always moving forward, so you're always thinking forward. A nightmare. You basically start detoxifying, your brain readjusts, these synapses are all damaged and calcified, so it starts dumping it's the worst feeling in the world. It's like you get a zap, and it's a panic attack basically, and you can have up to 100 of these in a day.
30 tablets, and then come see him on my last 3 or 4 tablets that I had left to go and do a follow-up. Well, I called like I was instructed to, and he was not there. The office was closed for the next 2 weeks, and it gives you this incredible rage that you just want to just rip metal apart, or in my case, this lady was driving, I was coming back home and I was already having these brain shocks going through my head, and I don't know, I was driving down, I almost got home, and she puts her high beams on, and she kept them on and kept them on. The road was narrow and I couldn't do nothing but go off the side of the road, and she kept her high beams on, and so I put mine on, and I put the car in park and ran towards her car out in the middle of the road and kicked her door so hard. It was a 2008 or 9 Lincoln Continental, and bashed it and made a huge dent on it. It's awful. I'm just doing this video to let you guys know that Be careful when you take this medicine. Uh, it is the devil in a pill. It really, really is. I had no idea. It when you taper off of it, or when you come off of it real slow, you still have to be careful. I wouldn't recommend it one bit. Many people might have different withdrawal symptoms, but I had the night sweats, the chills, everything. I mean, the dizziness, vertigo. I turned my head to the left, everything would turn to the left 10 seconds later. It was awful. I mean, I'd rather be drunk.
For me, it feels like there's a brick in my head, and it's just very, very painful. I can't get rid of this pain. I've tried Tylenol, I've tried ibuprofen, I've even taken a Percocet, and nothing is helping with this pain in my head.
A couple days ago, like a new weird thing started in my brain. Like literally, it feels like electric pulses are shooting through my brain. Like I'll just be sitting there doing nothing, like laying in bed, like, you know, either going to sleep or waking up early in the morning. You know, I'm laying in bed and I'm conscious, but I'm just kind of out of it. Like it literally feels like there's a strobe light going off in the middle of my head. It's just it's the weirdest thing. I'm thinking, what the hell is happening to me?
Okay. Now, living without PAXIL can be a real bitch. You know that? Actually, I'm okay now, I think. I've been off of it for about 2 months, and it's been an interesting experience. The little thing had caused me to bawl my head off for no reason, and I'm not a crier. But boy, I was doing that for a while. Then I went on to the phase of anger. The least little thing would set me off, and I just wanted to reach out and choke the living shit out of somebody. Of course, you know that definition of stress? Well, that's when the mind has to overcome the body's basic desire to choke the living shit out of some asshole that really deserves it. But I got through that, then went back to the blasés for a while, and then all this energy I had to burn off, going places, running around. Of course, that was burning way too much gas. It has dropped 34 cents a gallon. It was $4.09, and now it's $3.75.
My mind was just flipped out with brain shocks and what have you. I mean, I did not know, you know, and I really, really hate that doctor for not, I really, really hate it. I do. I mean,
painful, nervous, almost electric-like shocks. Another sensation similar I can only explain as being akathisia. I couldn't sit still. I had to pace back and forth. Couldn't stop moving. I would have waves of what felt like nervous energy through my body. Crazy, and I would shake. I was extremely nauseous, very, very sick, especially the first 3 days. Brain zaps, I hear people, they refer to them as brain zaps, and I don't know what else to call them. Just feel like you're getting shocked from the back of your head. Angry, violent thoughts.
Those brain zaps, and that's what they call them. It's almost like, you know, your brain is like twitching, and it has these little zzz, zzz, and it's so hard to describe it unless you've withdrawn off of an SSRI drug or anything. It is the most annoying symptom, besides the fact that I think my morning sickness is heightened by going off of this, and maybe it truly isn't as bad as it was. Pictures of this kid, and boom, panic attack hit.
It was so weird. I just wanted to kill somebody because my emotions were just going haywire, and on top of that, but yeah, eventually it stopped once I got back on the pills.
Drugs to come off of, it will definitely bring you to your knees. It blows my mind how marijuana is illegal in the United States, which I don't smoke marijuana, but at the same time, they will allow these prescription drugs that are just so stinking addictive that, I mean, the physical effects, I mean, it's like being on heroin or something. I mean, It is just unbelievable what happens. You come off of it. You start to, you know, they tell you to taper off. So I was on 225 milligrams. They taper you off down to 150. And then they say, okay, now after about 2 or 3 weeks, we're going to get you down to 75 and so on. Well, when you get to the first step, you start feeling depressed. I mean, you actually start feeling really, really down. And you're like, what in the world's going on? I shouldn't be feeling this way. And then you start getting these brain zaps. And you talking about weird. I mean, it's like, you know, you're just standing around and whap, somebody knocks you upside the head. I mean, it is the strangest thing. And 5 minutes later, whap, you just feel, you know, you just get whapped again upside the head. And it's like, what the heck is going on? And you go to sleep and you get all these weird dreams that are going on. But here's the strange thing. They taper you off and 2 weeks pass and 3 weeks pass and 4 weeks pass and you're still feeling the same stuff and your head is hurting, your body's hurting.